What's up, you guys? ShartimusPrime here, bringing you another online interview with the Marvel Hasbro team. We have Dan, we have Dwight, and we have Ryan. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so we're excited to chat.
Awesome. Now I have 30 minutes with you guys, and I actually wrote down questions and everything.
It's already a positive no Comic-Con thing, because normally you'd have like 10 minutes. You got 30 minutes, man. So, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
Comic-Con world. There you go.
Yeah, I do want to start out by just saying, thank you to all the community, because without the community, like the whole HasLab Sentinel wouldn't have worked out. So thank you, Shartimus and your fans and everybody who's a fan of Marvel Legends for making HasLab a success that it is.
Well, that's one thing actually I wanted to ask you guys was, did you expect this to be such a success right off the, I mean, you've hit all the tiers already. I mean, so did you expect that to happen within just a few days? What, it's been up for like 3 or 4 days?
I mean, go ahead, Ryan.
You go.
I'll say, I don't know if I expected it to go this fast, but we knew the Sentinel was was the right item, and it was, being designed and built at those strategic prices to have the, some fun unlocks. I did not expect us to hit all 3 unlocks in 3 state, basically an unlock a day. That was crazy awesome. It blew all of our minds with the support that the Marvel community came out and said, yes, this is awesome. We want it. I knew it was going to be big. I just didn't think it would be, I didn't think it would be snap your fingers and, okay, cool, I can relax again. It already happened because, I've never seen a Kickstarter go this way, or a Kickstarter-like thing go this way before. So,
well, that's one thing I'm sure a lot of us didn't think about, was you guys kind of being concerned about maybe this might not do so well. You know what I mean? I'm sure you had that thought in your head, like maybe that's not going to meet my expectations, but it definitely, I'm sure it surpassed your expectations. Well, you just said it surpassed your expectations, so you don't have that worry anymore. I
feel like some Kickstarters, not to call anyone out, but some Kickstarters, you can kind of look at their threshold and they set themselves up to sell out in a day because it's like so low. But 6,000, backers for a $350 item, we didn't take that for granted. So, to Dwight's point, we all love the item. It looks amazing. Functionally, it's great. It's kind of the perfect storm. It's like a troop builder, right? Some people are going to want multiples if they can do it. X-Men is really big for us. It happened to be the year of the X-Men with all this stuff going on. So from a marketing standpoint, we felt good about it. But, we were pleasantly surprised. And, we're so glad we don't need to stress out for a bunch of weeks to make sure, if it's actually going to be real. It is real. Thanks to all the fans. And it was really a fun weekend. The whole team texting back. I've never been a part of so many ongoing text chains at a given time of everyone high-fiving each other and celebrating. And we share that with the fans. We know you're going to love it when it comes out next year.
Awesome. Cool. Can I pick it apart now? Because I have all these pictures. I want to get into the I want to know some details over here about the Sentinel. First off, all right. So trust me, I have been staring at these images for I'm like, oh, I want to, and I'm like mapping out where in the dork room and all that stuff. But I want to know if it can look up. That is like a big deal for me, is just being able to know if it can look up, because the previous 2 Sentinels could not look up at all. So do we have that kind of articulation?
It can look up just a little bit, and it can pivot down just a little bit. We had to sacrifice the what you would call a typical Legends neck joint, the ball disc or the barbell, because of the LEDs that are centered in his head. The reason why the LEDs will work with the Master Mold head, the battle damaged head, and the Sentinel head. They're not independent lights in each head. So it's all powered from the core of the Sentinel. And because of that, there's kind of a neck post with some LEDs in it that are on a sphere. I can show you when you have a question for marketing, I'll run and grab the model, and then we can go back.
He doesn't want to see that. He doesn't want to see that, right?
Do you want to be the first person to see what's under the head?
Yeah, I kind of do. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. So
I'll grab that. And because of it being a ball, there's not a disc in there. So there's going to be a little bit of play. I think on the bigger heads like Master Mold, there'll be even more movement than on the standard Sentinel.
Okay.
But we can test it out together. It is still just a prototype model, and there are some articulation joints that we're trying to finesse to get like better movement in his ankles and things like that. So we're still trying to spend the next 40 days finessing the actual check model so that when we're ready to go to tooling, it'll function as well as possible. But I just want you and your viewers to understand that what we'll be playing with is not a real thing yet. So there will be some limitations at what I can and can't show you, because if I'm too rough with it, I could just shatter this thing, and we only have one. So I got to be really careful with it.
Right. Yeah. The prototypes are made out of completely different material than the final products that we see, as most viewers know that already. Okay, cool. So after you get the Sentinel out, then I'll ask more questions about the articulation. And is what you're explaining to me kind of reminds me of the Spider-Man figure, the vintage collection Spider-Man figure that we just got, where it has like a dumbbell pin kind of thing as opposed to the disc hinge. What's the official name of the disc hinge joint where, you know, it rocks, you know, where it moves up and down? I've got Marvel Legends around here. Here we go. Archangel. This neck joint. What's that officially called? Like, what term do you guys use when you guys are talking about, you know?
I just call that a disc with a barbell. Disc and a barbell.
Disc and a barbell.
Because it's got the ball on the top and it's got the disc on the bottom. The other one is just called just a barbell, like the one we have. That's would just be a barbell, because if you pop that whole head and neck off, it looks like a little a miniature weight. Yeah, and there's another ball on the opposite end of this. That's just a straight barbell. The other one I call a disc and barbell.
Disc and barbell. Okay, so if there's any chance at that Sentinel looking up, it would have to be just the barbell kind of going, like you'd probably have to make a cut or something like crazy like that in order to make that happen. So why did we switch? So why did the I feel like I'm asking like therapy, because I actually like this a little bit more than this. So I'm saying, like, why did we leave this, and why did we, like, I had any part of this at all, but like, why did we move into this one right here? I'm just kind of curious why that change was made.
Well, I think over the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, infinity years that we're working on this stuff, I think you're always going to see us change and try to find new ways to improve, or at least, you know, we look at it hopefully as an improvement, but we're always going to be looking at testing out new ways to develop the product, new ways we can come up with new processes and procedures to make some updates to the figures. So we're looking at this as another variation of just something that we're testing out and see what we think of, what we like about it. What you sacrifice and the ability to look up and down, you gain a whole new range of realism with the head rocking back and forth and wobble, which the barbell and disc doesn't give you. So there's kind of pros and cons to everything. I don't know. I hope someday that we can evolve and find the perfect system that works for everything. But until then, we're constantly, I think that's one of the most special things about the Marvel team is we're never just saying what we have is done. It's perfect as is. We're always looking for how we can evolve and make the product better and better. Over the years, you've seen photoreal. Now you're seeing the seamless, no pin elbows and knees. You know, the advancements come from, you know, our team here in the U.S., our team across the seas in Hong Kong, and all of our amazing vendors and support structure that is around us. So everybody's always looking to what can we do next and try something different to hopefully make the product better, to get you guys super excited and stay invested, because you guys have been in this line for so many years. It's a huge responsibility to keep you guys engaged. And if we just did the same old, you know, you'd have more figures that look like your big time letdown Spider-Man, and nobody wants to be there. We always want to be making these things, you know, better and better.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, you guys have made incredible strides over the years. That part has always just made me really happy with the line, is seeing changes like that. And the last time we spoke in person, Dwight, I remember you mentioned that you're working on pinless female double jointed elbows, right? Which obviously is not completed by the time you finished working on the Mystique figure, right?
Right.
But hopefully we see that sooner than later. I'm sure there's not a specific time where you can mention where that may come through. That's probably still an in progress kind of thing. Or
it's still in progress, but that sculpt has been approved by Marvel. So it's it has not been tooled yet, but it's in progress. So we'll be seeing that in the next year.
Awesome. And then toe joints for regular 6-inch figures. I was kind of hoping I would see toe joints on this guy when I saw the figure in the press room, in February, but it looks like no toe joints or anything like that. That's something I've still have been longing for with my Marvel Legends, on more of them anyway. We saw them on Beast and some others, I think.
Right. Yeah, I think Beast was the most recent one that we've added. I think that's the most recent one with the toe.
I think so.
Yeah.
Dark Beast.
Yeah,
I guess. Awesome. So seeing that with the more the regular 6-inch figures would be really cool to see. And then so I actually I did pick up the latest G.I. Joe figures. And I know I know I should be talking about other brands, but I was wondering if you guys look at it. It looks like each of those figures has more articulation on it than a Marvel Legend figure. And I was wondering I'm sure you knew that already. I'm sure you guys have picked those up and everything. Does that make you want to give more articulation to the Marvel Legends? Does that kind of make you want to punch back with a fist of articulation?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that there's probably, I guess you could call it a friendly rivalry between the teams at Hasbro. We've got amazing design and development teams on, all of the fantastic things that Hasbro has to offer, from the Transformers Generations line to Transformers Classified to Ghostbusters Plasma to Power Rangers Lightning. I mean, there's a lot of awesome things being done by so many of our other brands. It's definitely a learning tree when you get a chance to talk to the sculptors or designers on the different brands and see what they're doing. Because once again, we on Marvel have been leading the charge for many, many years, but by no means do we have all the answers or do we have it all solved. We're always looking to see what we can learn from somebody else. And if there's something that we think that can benefit our line, we're definitely going to figure out a way to try to borrow it and incorporate it or use it as inspiration, as a jumping off point to do something new and different on Legends. Because, while we love all those other lines, we all personally think our Legends is the best. And we want to, constantly keeping that, it's definitely the one that's been longest running, I should say, as well, right? I mean, this has been going since the early 2000s with the Toy Biz line. So there's very few, if any, 6-inch line that's been around as long as this one has. So that's a huge testament as well to the quality and innovation in the line, and you ridiculously amazing fans who have stuck with us from the very beginning to where we're at today.
You guys gave us a lot of bragging rights with the Sentinel, because now we have something to go to our Star Wars and Transformers teams, at least in marketing, and we could always brag about how you guys supported us the quickest. So thanks again for that.
Oh, but also the cheapest, though. Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't. Your face,